Hello and welcome back to Remnant 2. Today we're going to be looking at a shield build, which I've done in the past, but with all the new updates and me being better and all that kind of stuff, we're just going to be looking at it again and, kind of giving everything a fresh polish. Now we are playing on Apocalypse, so you get to see how the overall setup I'm using today performs there, and then it's just going to be a little bit better on the lower difficulties. Now some good things with shield builds, right? There's 3 different amulets that are going to give you some various bonuses. There's a lot of different rings that will provide shields for you, so you have a lot of ways of generating those shields. And then, they're overall kind of flexible in a way. Like, it's the choices in your items do not lock you into a specific, build. Like, it's not going to say, oh, well, this ring increases melee damage, so I guess I'm doing a melee build. Oh, this one specifically does this, so I have to do this. Like, it really doesn't do that. So it's pretty open-ended, and they tend to be pretty defensive safe because by generating shields, it's just more HP, so you're less likely to die right away, right? Now, the kind of downside with that is because it's sort of general and it is defensive in nature, your damage and, lethality can take a hit because of it. But on the whole, my setup here, I feel pretty good about. I generally don't seem to have any issues with, taking things out. It is defensive and just generally good at everything. It does good melee stuff. It does decent range stuff. It's defensive, It's overall just kind of good at each of the things. So let's take a look at the amulets, because those are going to be your, defining pieces for your builds. So we have the Energy Diverter, which is going to increase your crit chance and damage dealt whenever you have a shield. The Difference Engine increases your damage and then gives you lifesteal when you have a shield. And the Kinetic Shield Exchanger, increasing your mod damage and mod power generation whenever you have a shield. So these two, the first two, the Energy Diverter, Difference Engine, very similar. Kinetic Shield Exchanger, you can immediately tell, okay, if you're using that, you're obviously going for some kind of a mod power type of build. Now, I'll talk about that one first because it's kind of the least out of the 3, and it's one I didn't use until today, and I spent a while messing with it earlier this morning, and I just generally don't really like it. And I'm no stranger to using kind of weaker things and stuff like that, and I don't really have a problem with that idea because it works. It does work. You can totally do builds with it. I've messed around with it, but the thing is, it just didn't really feel like it had a whole lot of life to it. I don't know, man. It just didn't feel good. Because at 25% mod damage, you're sweet, that's a lot of extra mod damage, right? Until you start thinking about, well, the Difference Engine gives you 20% damage on everything. So it's also your mod damage. So this is only giving me 5% more damage on my mods. So, okay. But it's giving me increased mod power. So it definitely wins out against the Difference Engine because this gives me mod power. And on, a logical level, I knew it was helping me with my mod power generation. But on, some kind of gut level thing, I just didn't feel like it was doing anything, man. I just didn't really feel like it was adding that much to it. And I don't know if I was just not doing it right. I don't know. I didn't feel like it was really doing that much at all. And especially when I start comparing it to, say, the Golden Ribbon. Golden Ribbon increases mod damage by 25%. No ifs, ands, or buts. You don't have to have a shield on, nothing. It's just more mod damage. So already this feels a little bad because it's well, I guess there's just more requirements for the damage. And it's but it gives me more mod power. This one doesn't give me mod power, but when you use a mod, you get haste. And so this feels with the haste, you can really tell. It's oh, I've got haste on me now. I'm moving fast. You can tell. This one is just some passive effect that I just don't notice. I don't feel it. The flavor is really kind of bland. I don't know, man. Hello Kitty, not right now. So I in general, it works. Don't let me stop you from using it because I will probably use it some more again at some point. But as of right now, it just I didn't feel super strong about it. I didn't feel super great, so meh. But the other two are very similar. Really, the damage between 15% and 20% is not very big. You're not going to notice a big difference. There is a difference, obviously, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. The big difference is in their secondary effects. This one giving you lifesteal, this one giving you the crit chance. If you lean into the crit chance, the Energy Diverter is going to do more damage because you're getting critical hits, which is just a big damage boost, as opposed to just having lifesteal. And lifesteal is nice when you can use it with some, damage over time effects and things like that. Kind of defensive in a way, right? And I do really like the Difference Engine, just because it is just a general safe defensive choice and it gives you more like avenues of healing up. But we're leaning a little bit more into some of the crit chance here, so I'm going to stick with the energy diverter on this setup here. Now, when you look at the rings, there's a bunch of different ones that are going to generate more shields for you, and so you kind of need to pick like one or two that are going to consistently give you shields, because you need to make sure you always have a shield on whenever you're doing this build. And one of the ways you can do it is actually the relic, and we'll start there because you're going to need a relic, and the shielded heart is pretty much a staple of a shield kind of build. It gives you, instead of doing normal healing, it'll give you a shield for 100% of your health for 20 seconds or until it's destroyed. 20 seconds is a long time. 100% of your health is a lot, especially with these a 20% increase to your shield amount in there. So you've got 120% more health, basically. You throw that thing on there, you just have more health, because that's what shields are. And then just increase health amounts and stuff. It's good. So you could use this, start off a fight with it, and just have a big shield on that lasts for a long time, as long as you're not actually taking hits, and you can continue to get the bonuses of your other rings. And you can do some effects with like the invader. You could use the reboot skill so that you're getting, backups for your character. And so then you can store how many relic charges you have and get back your relic charges before, instead of running out. Let's get back to the rings now. Right. So we've got excess coil. Activating the skill gives you a shield for 25% of your health, which is a lot, and it lasts for 15 seconds, which is a good amount of time for a shield to last. We're using this one, and we're going to be using skills to get that shield effect all the time. And to kind of help us with that, Burden of a Stargazer, not a shield-specific kind of ring, right? This reduces our skill cooldowns by 15%, so we're going to be able to use this one and get more mileage out of it. And it makes our skills cost us health, which is a bummer, except when you consider some of our other rings. We have the reroute and cable, so whenever you spend stamina, it gives you a shield. It stacks up to 50%, but it only lasts 5 seconds. So you got to make sure you're kind of constantly doing things to keep refreshing it, which generally speaking is not a problem in the middle of a fight, because you're constantly dodging, sprinting, or at least I am. And so this is just a nice way to constantly round out, increasing how much shields are on me and making sure I have a shield active to get my bonuses, right? Then we've got generating band, pretty much a staple anytime I do a shield build. Regenerate 3% of your maximum health per second while a shield is active. And I definitely need it because I don't have any other actual forms of healing, so this is like how I heal. Put a shield on me, let my health regenerate. Now, the other rings I don't have equipped, you've got the Ring of Crisis. So when our health drops to 25%, you get a 25% shield. Clean, simple, it's just a great, oh crap, I'm in trouble, and now you've got shield to keep you alive. I like it. The Tightly Wound Coil. So when you spend 75% or more of your weapon's magazine, it gives you a shield for 15% of your health for 5 seconds. 5 seconds is very long, but with the right weapon, you can constantly get this ring proccing. So you use single shot weapons, crossbow, a bow, the Widowmaker, things like that. Every shot will give you a shield, which is great. And then you can continue to keep shooting and then get the bonuses for your energy diverter, generating band, etc., right? Vacuum Seal, I use that one occasionally. It's kind of a niche one. So basically it increases your pickup range, and then when you pick items up, like scrap iron ammo, that generates a shield. So I find it nice just going through the open world, because you find items all over the place. Killing enemies, they tend to drop things, so you just picking things up will just give you shields. And it works nicely in a group setting, because when your teammates pick things up, it shares it with you, which then generates a shield. It's pretty nice. Now, the white glass bead is one that came with the DLC. It's not a Neruda item, which is, unique considering all the other shield things are Nerudian. But when you do a perfect dodge, you gain a 15% shield for 10 seconds. Decent amount of duration, decent size shield. And you can combine it with the rerouting cable. So like you're dodging in the middle of fights, you're going to be dodging things. So being able to dodge something, get a good shield that lasts for a while, pretty nice. And then if you have the rerouting cable on too, that dodge costs stamina, so that gives you more shield on top of it. So right off the bat, single dodge can give you 20% of your health as a shield, which is just nice. Now for the weapons, the ranged weapons are not important for the setup. It's kind of whatever you're most comfortable with. I have the pulse rifle on. It's got corrosive rounds, increasing our crit chance, because I'm leading into some of that crit chance stuff, as well as momentum, so that when we get those critical hits, it increases our chance and damage for those. Our handgun is a double barrel. I'm going to be in close and personal for a lot of this, because I'm using the wormhole skill on the invader. So double barrel is just a great gun. It works out well because we're in close. It's got overflow on it. I've got Slayer on there. And then for the melee weapon, this has another very important shield thing on there, and that is the shielded strike. So when you hit guys with your melee attacks, it gives you a 4% shield, stacks up to 40% of your health. Now this is at level 10. Now when you get it to level 10, your charged melee attacks will deal up to 25% more damage based on how much shield you have. So I have it on the Spectral Blade. Spectral Blade is one of the strongest melee weapons in the game. It's really fun. It's really good. When you do a neutral dodge and you perform a charged attack from there, it creates a whirlwind. That whirlwind can hit a lot of guys, which will give you a lot of procs on the shielded strike. And then, with all the other things that we got going on, we're going to have a lot of shields, so that whirlwind is doing a lot of damage. Now, I could lean really hard into the Spectral Blade and put points in Resonance, but I'm not going to do that here because it's not really a shield build at that point. It's a Spectral Blade build, and I don't want to do that. I want to focus on the shield build. Now, I've totally used the Shielded Strike on Atom Smasher a lot because this one does charge melee attacks, increase your melee speed, so you can get faster attacks that are giving you more shields. The Atom Splitter, the ranged abilities, or your ranged melee weapons will generate shields, so that's kind of nice too. I don't really like fist weapons, but I've used it on fist weapons before so that, quick attacks give you the shield and stuff. But Shielded Strike's very solid. Spectral Blade is going to be really great for us. Now, trait-wise, we've got Untouchable and Triage from our archetypes, which, speaking of, I'm using the Medic as my secondary because it has the healing shield. By no means a must-have. We have a lot of other things that are generating shields, so if you don't want that, totally run a different archetype. But I want it because it's the nice, oh crap, here's a big shield on me, and it's healing me, so it's just nice. I put points into Strongback. I have the Technician armor on. I wanted a medium roll instead of heavy, so I put points in there. You only need 7 or 8 points to actually get to the medium, but I just maxed it out because Fortify to give us that increased damage reduction, Vigor because we want more health, it's Apocalypse, Spirit to help charge up our mods, Expertise because we're pretty dependent on using our skills to generate shields. The main thing generating shields for us and a big shield is Excess Coil, which relies on us using skills, so I want those skill cooldowns to be a little bit, faster. Now, I put points into Arcane Strike, not a normal one for me, but we're using Spectral Blade a lot, so we're hitting a lot of dudes all at once, so we should be able to charge up some mod abilities pretty quickly, which will be nice. Fitness to help out those evade distances. Shade Skin, just some more elemental damage resistances. We've got Endurance at 5 and Recovery at 5, just for some nice quality of life stuff. I'm also using the Concoction Xenoplasm. This is reducing our skill cooldowns by 10%. So again, leaning into having our skills. So as we go into this, you're going to see kind of the general routine that we go into combat with. It's going to start with a wormhole, which will leave behind a decoy and distract guys, so we get more damage on the distracted guys. We've got a shield on us. We'll dash in, teleport in, neutral dodge backwards, and then do a whirlwind attack with our Spectral Blade, which will be enhanced because we have a whole bunch of shields on us and deal lots of damage. So I'm going to try and get a whole bunch of dudes, but if you notice, I'm just sprinting around right now, and I'm generating shields just by running around and doing little dodge rolls and stuff. So now let's go ahead and shoot, dodge back, boom. There we go, some nice respectable damage there from that dude. I was kind of hoping to catch all of them sort of at once. Ow, but see, we took that hit, but guess what? We have enough shields where it kind of doesn't even matter because it took the whole hit for us. Oh, and there's an elite dude. Let's go ahead and use our relic now. We're just going to get a nice beefy coverage on there. Get ourselves fully loaded up, and then let's go. Teleport in. We're going to get a big hits here with our fully charged neutral dodge attacks, which is fantastic. Let's go ahead and activate this one now. And then when we need to, we will just teleport in like that. Backdash attack. We need to move away from there, though. Now, even though using our skills is costing us health, guess what? It's fine because the generating band is regenerating our health. So we teleport in, it costs us health, but gives us a shield. And then, because we have a shield, we immediately start regenerating the health that we used to teleport faster. Let's keep it going. Hi, friend. We're going to go ahead and just quick dash in. I'm going to miss everything. Teleport away. Oh, no. And chunk. Very nice. You can kind of see where, this build is generally good at everything, right? The melee damage is decent because, we're getting those enhanced damage effects thanks to the shielded strikes. Our ranged damage is respectable as well. If you noticed on the elite dude, we were doing a ton of weak spot critical damage, which, he has a big eye, so it's pretty easy. We're survivable because we have those shield effects going on. So we're doing, we're able to take hits, moving in, swapping out for different things that we need. Going in like that, teleport back behind him, do it again, boom. And it clears groups of enemies because Spectral Blade is just fantastic. I mean, on the whole, this setup right here is just overall very just well-rounded. Just well-rounded. Now, I'm using the, I'm using the Whirlwind attack to, like, trigger the shielded strike amount to big AoEs. But I don't have to do that to get bonuses on my charge attacks. Like, I should just do baseline charge melee attacks and get bonus damage. Oh, hello, friends. Owie. Roll. And then we go on that side, and then we just chunk. Like, see what I mean? Like, we didn't have to do a Whirlwind there. You just do charge melee attacks. They've got a huge amount of bonus damage because look at how much shield we have just from doing, like, a couple things. And we've got a ton going on. Ow. And then we teleport over there. Roll, I believe, from that thing, and then chop. Not as much damage on him as I would have hoped. We'll go on this side. We're going to pull him into here, maybe. And we'll just get it all reloaded. Activate this. 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah. I don't even have a shield on right now, so you do a quick little dodge effect so that we get our bonuses again. But even without it, I mean, it's just a bunch of trash guys, so we don't even fully need it. Let's go ahead and take on the boss. I've been running through this place over and over again all morning. It's now evening anyways. Just because I've been trying out different things and stuff. And I've tried it out a couple times on this boss. So we'll see how it goes here. We should be able to, like, really do some mean damage. Hey, buddy. And shoot. There we go. Go ahead and break off some of those. So what we're going to do is just try and keep our shields active just by, kind of passively doing some dodges or using our teleport and stuff. And then once, break one of those, that's when we'll activate the mod. Because I want to be able to get as much mileage out of the corrosive and critical hits as possible. So now we're going to get some nice damage in here. He's got Spiteful and Drain going on. And just by sprinting, we should be able to start generating some more shields effects. There we go. Reload it quickly if I can. Unfortunately, I'm not sprinting enough. Teleport away gives us a 25% shield. Can't quite hit him there. This dude dodged backwards. Bam! Interrupted him. 1, 2. Lots of damage right there. Yeah, there you go. You can kind of drag him into the walls if you need to. Ooh, Lord, teleport! That was really unfortunate. Really unfortunate stagger. Without the shields, you are pretty squishy, so that was pretty unfortunate. I was kind of hoping I could teleport or recover in time to get out of there. It also felt like those mines exploded really quickly, but maybe that was just me. Let's just use our relic here, because that's going to last for 20 seconds, so it's going to be a long time of having shields active. Oh yeah, see, because we had that clone there, he was super distracted by that. Go ahead and get some bonus damage going on here. Just doing a roll every now and then to kind of keep ourselves shielded up. Wait for him to spin. There we are. Kind of circle around a little bit. I think he's going to start rolling around the map here in just a moment. Yeah, there he goes. Nice distraction. We're going to go ahead and try and break that one open, maybe. Well, maybe not. Teleport to the other side while we reload. And then maybe I'll get a good chance for some corrosive rounds here in a moment. Going to teleport away again and then do our other ability, Spectral Blade. Because it is giving us a lot of mod power back thanks to, Arcane Strike and stuff. So we can use that to charge up, like, our Lightning mod here very quickly. That staggered him thanks to that. Teleport to that side. Let's go ahead and use this. I kind of messed it up a little bit. I can't see his weak spot all that well. There is some good hits. Roll away from there. Oh, bad guy. Oh, neutral dodge. I'm in trouble. Oh, good thing that explosion messed him up. He's going to charge in, so we will go right over like that. Use this to clear out the little extra adds, and that should help to charge up some of our mod abilities as well. Now, because he's floating up there, what we can do is try and blow up his little bomb thing to drop him down. Or we're just going to teleport over here. Now, I definitely tanked that before by using my relic first, and then that allowed me to just take the full hit of that ability, and we were pretty okay. And as long as we keep moving and spending stamina, we're going to constantly have a shield on. And anytime he goes in quick on us, we can just use the teleport to stay on the other side while still generating big shields. And we haven't even touched our healing bubble yet. So, like, that's still an option as well. Try and play it cool so we don't mess anything up. He's too distracted by the stupid clone. Now, all his weak spots are open, so we can really use the clone to just get on every side of him and continue to deal damage. Roll away from that thing. We're getting low on ammo. That's a bad thing. I feel like I know because you're not doing enough damage. That's why you're chewing through ammo. I mean, it's not wrong. This build does rely a bit on doing some melee damage things. We're going to go ahead and just use this one, followed by that, and then charge. I want to try and... Oh, Lord. Oh, I messed it up. Look at the power of having a lot of shields. Suddenly, you can take a lot of hits, and you'll be okay. Let's do this. I'm just going to keep doing this to try and finish him. Wow. I choked. Yeah, I was being dumb there at the end. I should have just like used an ammo box or something to give myself ammo, or, you know, not be stupid and try and do the whole spectral blade thing to melee. Yeah, shouldn't have done that. But that's the build, right? We can beat that guy. It can be done. It's not that hard, right? Some other things you could do. I mean, you could lean really heavy into some of the like melee aspect of it. Like if you run in like Challenger, and then you know, you use the Juggernaut ability to give you that stagger reduction. Then you just spam charge attack, charge attack, charge attack. You'll be able to generate shields by rerouting cable because you're spending stamina, as well as shielded strikes. So you can tank through hits while constantly generating shields and like keep dealing more damage. Throw on the difference engine, so you're also getting lifesteal amounts, and that works out pretty nicely. Another thing you could kind of do too, the engineer, you could carry the turret out kind of like this, and then your dodges turn into that, so you could wear ultra armor while still wearing like or still using a nice dodge, and each of those dodges take stamina, which will then generate shields for you. So like there's a lot of different avenues of like playing around with this build, you know. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I mean, I guess I could have gone and tried to beat the boss for you or whatever. You know how it's gonna go. It'll be fine. But thanks for checking it out. Mess around with it, tweak around with some shield type things. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, until the next one, take care. Also, if you are looking to get Savior from Hardcore, you have to do Hardcore Veteran. Don't do Hardcore Survivor. That is not the way to get it. You have to do it on Hardcore Veteran. So please, 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 don't complete it on Survivor mode and then get upset when you don't get Savior, because I misspoke. I was wrong. I feel bad. Keep that in mind. Take care.